Right, so before anyone says anything on the comment section or anything like that, these two live together, and I thought, you know, you got to show people how fast these are. You ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
0-60 and stop before the sun. Welcome everyone to the super estate of the moment. This is the new Audi RS6 Avant, an everyday usable monster of a car. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get chicken feed in it. I'm going to take my friends out for a blast. I'm going to go to a McDonald's. I'm going to use this as an everyday vehicle should be used, and I'm going to see what it's like. And I'm going to be as objective as I can, because this is, after all, a £135,000 car. But let's go and see how it drives. Let's go and see what it's like on a daily basis. Right, so here we are in the super estate of the moment. So this is the new Audi RS6. It's the biggest, the baddest, the best, I suppose, of all of the estate cars at the moment. It's nipping at the heels of Panamera turbos and E63Ss, and the first thing you notice with this car is it is butter smooth. Like, everything is beautifully made. It's just, it's a high quality item, and it feels expensive. If it had a Bentley badge on it and they were charging that sort of money, you wouldn't even bat an eyelid, because it's just so beautifully made and it feels so expensive. There are a few extras on this car that I just wouldn't buy. For instance, like the soft closed doors. Why do you need soft closed doors? You just shut the door. What's wrong with you? Like, that's just completely unnecessary. The shadow black line exterior thing, if you like that sort of thing, yeah, go for it. But, you know, at £4,400 or whatever it is, that seems a lot of money. The paint, the sunroof, you know, all of these things add up to, you know, nigh on 50 grand on this car in particular. You know, and 50 grand buys you like a new M4 as well. I mean, it just, that I can't really fathom. We've got the dog, he's in the back, as you can see. It's a bit warm in there, poor chap. But he seems to like it. I mean, you have to drive relatively gingerly with an animal in the car anyway, so, you know, you're never gonna go out on a track day with the dog in the back. But he, you know, it's got plenty of room for 2 Labradors in there, but I just think that any more than 2 dogs, and I think you're pushing it, really. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go straight to, there's a McDonald's just down the road here, and I'm gonna go and see if this big old girl fits through a drive-through. As you can see, this car is, it's just so easy to drive. It is a, you know, it's a 600 horsepower monster underneath. But on the surface, it's just, you know, it massages your brow. I've done 300 miles in this car today, and it is absolutely, you know, I feel more rejuvenated than when I set off. I mean, everything's quite easy to use. Everything's intuitive, like all Audis are. Do you know what? One thing I have struggled with is the sat nav. Actually, I can't for the life of me work out how to put in a postcode, but I'm sure you can do it, because that seems ludicrous if you couldn't. The dashboard here, when you go into the different views and stuff, it's like flying a fighter jet or something. It's ridiculous. All the satellite, everything like that. It's all very, very nice to use, and it's very easy. You click view, it goes into different things. The speed, when you're in RS mode, everything else changes, and it makes it all aggressive and red, and, you know, a bit like a McLaren, really, actually. But whilst you're just driving around town, it's no more difficult to drive than a 3 Series BMW, or, you know, a normal A6 or A4 or anything like that. It is a big car, and driving around town, it does feel big, but you've just got to be careful. I mean, the 22-inch wheels that you've got, you just need to not curb them. I mean, it happens to the best of us. I'm sure everybody watching this video has curbed a wheel once in their life. It's just, the steering is light, it's easy. It's just a very, very nice car to live with on a daily basis. I can honestly say I don't think there is a better car. It's got a mix between, feeling to me, it's got a mix between like an S-Class Merc, in the way it rides, in the suppleness of everything, in the light steering, everything is just super easy and it massages your brow. But then when you get into the aggressive modes, it's got the pace of an E63S or something like that, which is, you know, that is high praise, because it is a hell of a weapon, an E63S. But I think the ride is better than the E63. I think the seats are more comfortable in this car, but the seats in the E63 hold you better, make you feel more special. I think they look cooler. There's pros and cons of all of these cars, and it's all down to subjectively whether you like the look of this one, whether you like the look of the other one. I don't really know. It's a difficult one. I think there's a couple of little niggles in this car, one of which is the price tag, but yeah, fabulous at the moment. Hello, could I just have a Coca-Cola, please?
Yeah, is that everything for you?
That's everything, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, to now not curb a wheel. God, it's huge. Hello, how much, sorry? £4? Oh, £1. Oh, that's all right. I was going to say it was the most expensive Coke I've ever bought. I thought it was £4. I'm paying £4. I could have got like 6 burgers for that much. Look at that. Don't need that. Lovely, refreshing. Oh, brain freeze. Oh, very good. Let's talk about some of the touch points of this car. So, for instance, steering wheel, lovely. I love the shape of the steering wheel. It's got notches down here. I don't really know why, but it's when you hold it here, it feels lovely. The Alcantara, we all know what Alcantara's like. It often goes shiny in here and a bit scuzzy and a bit minging. So after a little while, you know, the fourth person that owns this car is probably going to get all sorts of diseases. But it's, you know, it's a really lovely thing fresh out the box. The pedals, the brake pedal, because the brakes are so mighty, and I feel like, you know, they stop this car phenomenally well, and they jolly well should do for £9,700 extra. The top of the pedal is so sharp, you have to use about that much of the whole of the pedal in normal driving. And I find that, you know, it's, yes, you get used to it, same with everything, but it does feel, you know, you jump in this car, and if you've been driving something else, like my Defender or something like that, and you end up going, oh sorry everyone, you know, and people in the car, it's like, oh, sorry. The throttle response, lovely. It's, you know, you can play with all the settings and stuff, and, you know, it becomes sharper, the, you know, more RS modes that you use, and the dynamic pack and all of that rubbish. But that's beautifully judged the whole time. The fuel economy, I've had 27 miles to the gallon out of it. Now, I've also had 10 miles to the gallon out of it when you go and have a little bit of a spirited drive, let's say. So I think between the two, you're going to be looking at 22 miles to the gallon combined, which for something that has 600 horsepower and is a 4 litre big supercar killer, it's actually, you know, it's not that bad. Right, so we've got our chicken food. We've been for our McDonald's drink. We now need to go and find some good roads. One thing you will notice about this car, if you do buy one or have ever been around one or drive one or anything like that, everybody loves an RS6. Like, everybody, especially in this Nardo grey, which again is another couple of grand extra. I do wish it sounded a little bit better. It sounds good, but it just doesn't sound as good as an E63S. In dynamic mode, it sounds pretty good there. But when you've got any sort of music on or anything like that, then you just can't hear the exhaust at all. You got to turn that right down. I mean, it's just so mighty, and the grip, the mechanical grip it has. I mean, it's 2.1 tons, so it should have quite a lot of mechanical grip because it's got a lot of mass pushing it into the ground. But these P0s that it's on are very good. They're so capable, and I just, you know, I don't think you could really. I don't think you could upset them too much, but I mean, you'd have to be going such breakneck speed. It's the way it masks its mass that is so impressive, and it does it better than any other car I think I've ever driven because of the four-wheel steering and everything. It just makes it feel so much smaller and so much more stable than it actually probably is on the public road. I think, you know, this car has so much more than is required from it. But I think there's an amount of fun that can be had in it that... What a wicked car. It's just so impressive. I mean, it's so impressive. And the more time you spend in it, the more time I've spent in it, the more time I've realised that it actually, the price tag is, yes, it is a lot, but is it worth it with everything else that's out there in the market? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I do. I think it is. I really like it. I really want one. I'll ask them if I can keep it a bit longer. It's so wonderful to just be in, just to have. Yeah. Audi, you've done well here. You've done very, very well. It's very, very good. I can't really fault much about it.